Hey, what's going on, people? Welcome to Strange Talk with Doc. Hope everything is going good with you and yours. Oh, let's start this bad boy off. Like I always tell you, I like to give you just something to think about. Also, myself, something to think about before we actually get into the podcast. Just a little nugget. And this time is going to be, can I afford to pay what it costs? That refers to anything in life. That involves relationships, physical prices of items, physical activity. Can you afford the cost? Can you afford the cost of being 45 years old and playing in a basketball league, maybe breaking your leg, and you're the breadwinner in your family? Can you afford the cost of quitting a job that you have because of pride, or you feel you were slighted in some way or another instead of working things out? Can you afford to leave a relationship with children involved, thinking that you might be able to still maintain that relationship with these children and that the mother or her family won't get in the way of you seeing these children? So we have to think about that. And the reason I think about that is because New Year's is coming up. Christmas is coming up, Kwanzaa is coming up, and I say happy Merry Christmas to you, happy Kwanzaa, happy New Year's. I will speak to you again because I am doing a closeout of 2021, the year in review on December 30th at 9 a.m., which is a Thursday. I will be doing a wrap up of the year that was 2021. I feel I am putting a shout out to anyone who wants to call in, contact me. There might be something that I forgot that you think is very important that should be documented that happened in 2021. It could be personal, it could be political, it could be sports related. I don't care. It could be from the news, media, sports. It does not make a difference to me. I would love to hear from you. But we have to always take into consideration what something costs. I have a birthday coming up. I never thought that I was even going to make it past my 35th birthday. Don't tell me why I had this reoccurring dream all through my youth. So it caused me to live in a manner that was probably wilder than it should have been because I didn't think I was going to long term be on this planet. So I did things that were out of control, out of abnormal, unusual. I will admit it. Did I rob? Did I steal? No, not those type of things. But I'm talking about being wow, just wow. Like my life was over to begin with, so it was nothing to fear. So fear was one of the things that I'm glad that it did not cost me. It gave me the sense of living life without fear. But and that was only due to the fact that I thought that my days were numbered. Now, all our days are numbered, but I thought mine was numbered for a young age. I don't know if it was because where I came from, or I just had a reoccurring horror dream and it became reality to me. But like I said, with Kwanzaa coming up, with Christmas coming up, with New Year's coming up, we have to take into consideration the cost of not only items, but the cost of our behavior. And you always have to ask yourself, can I afford to pay whatever it costs? Can I afford to have a big mouth that spreads rumors? Can I afford to be a gossiper? You have to take these things into consideration, or we should take these things into consideration. Forgive me, I never mean to talk at you and tell you what you should or should not do. So I apologize wholeheartedly for that. That is not my intention. What I'm saying is when I say you should, I am talking to me, not the royal we. I'm talking to me. I'm talking to Doc. I'm saying it out loud, and it happens to be going through a microphone, through a speaker, through a computer, and reaching your ears on whatever device that you're hearing me. So I'm never telling you what to do. I don't have that right, nor do I pretend to have that right. I am just saying, once again, we should take into consideration the cost of everything and the actions and reactions that come with it. This week, UTFO hip hop artist, the Kango Kid, died at the age of 55. Man, a lot of rappers from my generation are no longer here on the planet. And I say rest in peace to the Kango Kid. He was from Brooklyn. I'm from Brooklyn. He was on Roxanne. UTFO was a very good group. You had Dr. Ice, the educated rapper, who I believe is also deceased. So 2/3 or half of the group, not including the DJ, are no longer with us. And 55 is not an old man, but he had cancer and his suffering is over. And I say R.M.P. to the Kango Kid. Wanda Young, a member of the Marvelettes, the lead singer on I'll Keep a Hold on You and Don't Mess with Bill. They also sung Mr. Postman. I'm sure if you didn't listen to them, you probably seen them on some old movie or your parents listened to them. She died at the age of 78. And Draco, the ruler, died at the age of 28. He was stabbed at a Once Upon a Time in LA music festival a couple of days ago. See, young man, I tried to get into some of his music this morning before I spoke about him. He's not really for me, but I could see that he had some unique talents. At least he was a real rapper. He's not a mumble rapper. He had a flow with wordplay that was a little different. I would say in the E40 kind of vein. I just wish him and his family and those who love him peace at the holiday season, because 28 to die so violently is it's a sad thing. And so once again, Draco the ruler, rest in peace, dude. I didn't really know you, but you know what? There are other people out there that you touched their lives, and that means enough to me. So, like once again, I said December 30th, 9 a.m. Strange Talk with Doc. We're going to wrap up 2021. You can reach out to me by hitting me on my webpage, and my webpage will have my information to my Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. There you can contact me, where I will give you the number. Not only do what I think was important in 2021 important, but also what you think was important in 2021 means a lot to me. And if you would like to come on and chop it up and talk about it, I will give you the opportunity, the means, and the space in which to do that and share your views. So COVID is up to 52 million cases in the US. 822,000 plus people have died. We're supposedly up to 487 million vaccinations. On December 29th, I actually go to get my booster. I'm not worried about anything. I'm going to go get my booster as scheduled. I'm glad I have that set up. I explained last week that there was some confusion with CVS and Walgreens. I think they asked for way too much information, personal information that I was not willing to give to a pharmacy. So I passed on that. Worldwide, we're up to over 272 million cases, and 5 million plus people have died. This Omicron variation, which we'll get into and how it's affecting sports a little later, is running amok, man. I mean, this thing is taking us back to a day, almost a year backwards. It's kind of scary, but a year backwards. Tiger Woods and his son Charlie put up a hell of a battle yesterday against John Daly and John Daly II in his PNC championship. For this young boy to be 12 years old, I think he is a phenomenal golfer. He has his future ahead of him. I wish him no roadblocks. I wish him no ill will. He has the means, the opportunity that most people will never even dream of. Doors are open for him. At 12 years old, he's already on national TV golfing several days a week. I mean, he could outplay most men that I have seen. So this kid has got a beautiful life ahead of him. Keyshawn Sowell, she's 49 years old. She's going to become the first female commissioner of New York City Police Department, which also will make her the first Black female commissioner of the New York City Police Department. I hope that this woman comes in there and she does a good job. She's not heavy-handed, that she believes in the people, that their input and viewpoints on how the policing is done will matter, that she won't just come in there and be a shield for the incoming mayor. He has an agenda, and I'm hoping that she has her own agenda and the people come first. Protect and to serve, not to harm, scare, and brutalize the citizens of New York, because New York is out of control and they do need a strong hand, but a strong hand doesn't have to be a brutal hand. So Derek Chauvin pleaded guilty to civil rights abuse in the murder of George Floyd. So he's going to probably have about another 3 to 6 years added on to that 22-year sentence. He figured, why bother with the additional court case? I don't know why the other officers haven't also taken any kind of plea deals. I don't know how they think that they're going to walk away from this when we all seen what they didn't do. What they didn't do, which was offer any help at all to George Floyd as he was being murdered by Derek Chauvin. So we had our last UFC fight night of 2021. It was Derek Lewis versus Darcus. Derek Lewis took out Darcus. Bilal Muhammad looked very good against Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Angela Hill started out slow, but Amanda Lemus had too much for her. Derek Erkins and Club Swanson ran through him. Now, Club Swanson is one of my favorites, but he ran through him, and it wasn't even a fair fight, basically. Melissa Gatto beat Sarge Eubanks, which I thought Sajara would have put up a better fight, but this young lady had too much for her on the ground. She submitted her. I'm going to say congratulations to the UFC for their cards in 2021, which for the most part have been outstanding. If they've been in the Apex Center, if they've been in front of live studio audiences, if they've been in Abu Dhabi, they have helped people make it through this pandemic. And for that, I say congratulations to the UFC fighters, matchmakers, and even Dana White. So NBA right now is being ran. COVID is running wild. The Omicron is running wild. They've had to postpone games. The Chicago Bulls had to postpone 2 games. The Nets have had to postpone 2 games. But here's the funniest thing. Kyrie Irving gets the Nets to rescind. They bring him back as a part-time player. Even though he is not vaccinated. And the day that he returns to the Nets, he has to go into protocol because of COVID. I mean, you're talking irony. That is what you call ironic. Look it up. I'm sure that I'm 100% right on that. Kyrie Irving rejoins the Nets as a part-time player, but then the day that he signs, the very next day, he goes into protocol. Now, they got some big games coming up for Christmas, and I don't even know if the stars will be in any of these games for the NBA. Nobody's going to tune in on Christmas Day to see people we've never heard of, the fourth dude off the bench. So, Anthony Davis, Los Angeles Laker Anthony Davis is going to be out at least a month. He has an MCL sprain. This dude is a walking injury. He's been a walking injury for quite a while now. I mean, I actually feel horrible for him that once again, he has high expectations, but something happens. He got injured twice in one game. Earlier that week, they were looking at his leg, and then even earlier in that week, they were looking at his leg. So I'm saying 1 month, they say. I'm thinking it's even going to be longer. The Lakers are in bad shape. They've lost the last 2 games they played. They've actually been blown out the last 2 games they played. Now, these are the upcoming, what I consider to be the premier games of the week. I only talk about the premier games. And tonight, you got the 76ers are playing the Celtics. Tuesday night, you got the Suns versus the AD-less Lakers. I believe Westbrook is out also. Thursday, you got the Hawks versus the 76ers. The Bucks versus the Mavs. The Nets are playing the Trailblazers. Hopefully the Nets will have some people back. And one of those people hopefully will be Kyrie. Friday, We have nothing. Christmas Day, we got the Warriors versus the Suns. We got the Hawks versus the Knicks. The Celtics versus the Bucks. The Mavs versus the Jazz. Saturday, we got the Nuggets versus the Clippers. And Sunday, we got the Nets versus the Clippers. So Urban Meyer was fired after 13 games as the Jacksonville Jaguars head coach with that Sterling, diamond-coated 2-11 record, plus all the other nonsense that he brought. If I was going to place a bet, I would have won this bet. The day that Urban Myers was hired as the Jacksonville Jaguars head coach, I predicted that he would not make it through the season, and he did not make it through the season. Matter of fact, I am going to go back and do some research and put a clip up of me predicting Urban Myers not making it through the season with the Jacksonville Jaguars. So the Cardinals wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins is expected to miss at multiple games because he has this knee injury. The Cardinals are in bad shape. They really need him back, man. They need him desperately. So Las Vegas gets the 2024 Super Bowl, which is Super Bowl 53. Now, I am sure that people are going crazy trying to book rooms, airfare, doing whatever that they can do to make sure that they're in Vegas for the Super Bowl. Would I like to be in Vegas January or February 2024 for the Super Bowl? Yes, I would. I think it would be spectacular. But the rooms are going to be off the shelves. Airfare is going to be crazy. Food prices are going to probably be raised. The place is going to be overran. So I'm thinking that this is going to be a spectacular event. It's going to be a different kind of event. Let's hope none of the players get caught up in the Vegas lifestyle, and that game, because we're talking 2 years down the road. So a lot can happen in 2 years, but I'm wishing the best. So the NFL, like I said, with the NBA, Omicron ran rampant. So they had to postpone games, not cancel, but postpone. The Browns and the Ravens game was postponed. The Seahawks and the Rams game was postponed. The Washington football team and the Eagles was postponed, all due to Omicron. Now, actually, I'll get into those games a little bit later. Now, Thursday, the Chiefs beat the Cardinals. Patrick Mahomes went off. He threw for 410 yards, 3 touchdowns. He did have 1 interception. Tyreek Hill had 148 yards receiving a touchdown. This was the Chiefs' actual 7th straight win. Travis Kelce had a career high 191 yards plus the game-winning touchdown. Now we're in the phase of the NFL where we're having games on Saturday. Like I said, one of the games was canceled Saturday, which was the Browns-Raiders game, postponed, and it was moved to tonight. Now, the Colts played the Patriots Saturday. Jonathan Taylor went crazy, 170 yards, plus he rushed for 67-yard winning touchdown. Now, yesterday, the Bills beat the Panthers 31-14. Josh Allen kind of recouped a little bit. He threw 3 touchdowns. Cam looked bad. This rule threw him under the bus. The Lions gave us the shock of the day, and they beat the Cardinals 30-12. They are really hurting without Hopkins. Jared Goff actually went 21 for 26 for 216 yards and 3 touchdowns. The Dolphins beat the Jets to go on to stay on a winning streak, which is now up to 6 games. My Cowboys beat the Giants. It was a sleeper. It was a nothing of a game. They continued to pick off the Giants. They forced the Giants into about 4 turnovers, and that was the key to victory. The Steelers beat the Titans 19-13. The Pittsburgh Steelers defense caused 4 turnovers and shut the Titans down completely in the second half. Ryan Tannehill did not do himself any kind of favor by showing the world, you want to come over here and play with me. He needs to straighten this shit out. ASAP, because Ryan Tannehill is either going to be an elite quarterback or he's going to be a middle of the level quarterback who's going to rely on a Julio Jones who's unreliable, A.J. Brown who's been invisible, and a Derrick Henry who's been hurt. And so the Titans have high hopes, but this is not a good thing for them. The Texans beat the Urban Meyer-less Jaguars 30-16. Believe it or not, the Texans ended a 3-game losing streak. The Bengals beat the Broncos 15-10. The key to this game was Teddy Bridgewater was injured. It looked pretty bad. He was one of like 4 guys who had these neck injuries over the course of this weekend, where they had to have their face masks taken off and took out on the stretcher. But as of speaking today, Teddy is fine. He's moving his extremities. They just keeping him for evaluation. The 49ers beat the Falcons 31-15. This is 5 wins in the last 6 games for the 49ers. The 49ers are getting hot at the right time. And the Packers beat the Ravens 31-30. This Tyler Huntley, who's been filling in for Lamar Jackson, who was out again yesterday, is a pretty good quarterback. He is showing teams that need a quarterback that he has the potential to be a starter, and he is definitely an NFL quality caliber quarterback. The Saints beat the world champion Buccaneers 9-0. That defense frustrated Brady. Fournette was injured. Evans was injured. Godwin was injured. AB is still out on suspension. I mean, they swept the Bucs. Who would expect that Taysom Hill and Jameis Winston would both beat Tom Brady this year? It's not like the Saints had a lot, but they did what they had to do. Now, the game that was postponed will be played tonight. The Raiders will be playing the Browns at 5 o'clock. Then they're going to have your regular Monday night football game, which will be the Bears versus the Vikings. Now, the Raiders versus the Browns. I'm going to take the Browns to win this game at home. The Vikings are going into Chicago. I am taking the Vikings to win this game. And because other games were also postponed, we're going to actually have Tuesday games. We have the Seahawks going into LA to play the Rams. I'm taking the Rams. The Washington football team is going into Philly to play Philadelphia. I'm going to take the Washington football team. Now, this is the games that are coming up. San Francisco 49ers are playing the Tennessee Titans on Thursday in Tennessee. Tennessee did not look good. So I'm going to pick Garoppolo. I'm going to pick Kittles, that running game. I'm going to pick Deebo Samuels to go into Tennessee and give them an L. The Browns are going into Green Bay to play the Packers. No way Cleveland beats Green Bay. Green Bay is rolling right now. So I'm going to continue to go with, this is a Saturday game. We have Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So by the way, that San Francisco Tennessee game is a Thursday night. Now, here's your, like I said, these are Christmas days, which is Saturday. That's Cleveland, Green Bay. I'm picking Green Bay. The Colts are playing the Arizona Cardinals, which is also Christmas Saturday. I am picking Arizona to lose this game to the Colts. The Colts are looking dominant. Jonathan Taylor is running the ball well. Carson Wentz is not making a lot of mistakes. That defense is thirsty. So I like the Colts in that game. And by the way, the in-season HBO Hard Knock with the Indianapolis Colts is an outstanding show. I would say to make sure you get a chance to watch it. I finished up F is for Family. F is for Family was rough. I can't say that you should watch it in a marathon type fashion, but give yourself some time in between, but finish the series. It's a good last season. The Blacklist is out there. I don't even know what is going on in the Blacklist. I am kind of confused. TV shows don't usually confuse me, but this one is. I spoke on Hard Knocks. And for those of you who like season 1, Young Rock Season 2 has returned. So back to football. Now, Sunday's games, the Lions, who won, are going into Atlanta. I don't know. Detroit is not a bad team. They seem to play together. They seem to play hard. So I like the Lions to actually get a victory in Atlanta on the road. The Ravens are playing the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm taking the Ravens to beat the Bengals with Lamar or with Hundley. The Rams are going into Minnesota. This is a big game for the Rams, and it's also a big game for Minnesota. This is like a mini playoff game. And Minnesota's at home. I mean, man, this one's a tough one to call, but I'm going to go with the Vikings to hold serve at home. The Bills are going to New England, also like another playoff type game. The Bills are going into New England. The Bills have got to win this game. They have got no choice but to win this game. The Jaguars are going into New York to play the Jets. I like the Jets in this game. The Giants are playing the Eagles. I like the Eagles at home. The Bucs will bounce back against Cam and Carolina Panthers and beat them pretty bad in Carolina. The Chargers are going to Texans to play Houston. I like the Chargers and Herbert to win this game. The Bears are going to play Seattle in Seattle. I like Seattle. Pittsburgh comes back down to earth after a big win, and they lose in KC to the Chiefs. The Broncos are going into Las Vegas to play the Raiders. I don't know, and I don't believe Teddy will be back. I don't like Locke at all, so I'm picking the Raiders to actually win this game. The late game on the 26th, Sunday, is the Washington football team is heading into Dallas to play the Cowboys. The Cowboys bounce back. They actually get their offense in order, and they beat Washington and probably clinch the division next Sunday night. That will be a birthday gift to me. Monday night, you got the Dolphins going to New Orleans. Dolphins are on a roll. I like how they're playing. I like how they're playing opportunistic on defense. Their offense is not moving too bad. Tua is not the worst quarterback. So I actually like the Dolphins to beat the Saints. Once again, please join me if you can for the 2021 wrap-up show on December 30th at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Call in. Even if you can't call in, drop me a note and let me know what kind of story or what did you think should not be forgotten about 2021. Maybe we're already on the same page and it was something I was going to bring up. I actually listened back to my show of the 2020 wrap-up show, and that was pretty good. Don't mean to pat myself on the back, but pat. It was a good show, and I expect this one to be even better because I know how to bring a year in review now. But you can please hit me up. Give me a like, share, comment. I love to hear from those who listen to me. Why do you listen to me? That's the question I'm asking. Why do you listen to me? Why do you listen to Strange Talk with Doc? This is the only question I really need to know. What is it about me? Is it my voice? Is it how I flow? Is it my subject matter? Is it the speed in which I go through topics? I would love to hear from you. Every single person. There's nobody who is more important or less important, but anybody who listens to me, please let me know why you do. And if you listen and you're turned off, please let me know that also. I'm going to tell you like I tell you every time. I appreciate you. I thank you. You don't have to listen to me, but you do. And for that, it means a lot to me. It means more than I could ever tell you. I'm humbled that anybody would take the time out of their day and say, let me listen to this stranger who I do not know from Adam, but he might entertain me, might piss me off, he might make me feel some kind of way. And you don't have to do that. There's so many other things that you can do, but you took a minute for me. And I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. And I'm going to tell you like I tell you every time. Into December 30th, 2021, peace to you and peace to